Talk louder. Louder.
I think that's fine.
Louder.
Turn it into Wales.
I am deaf. Hear me die.
Do you fear death, Rhani?
No, I experienced
cold
it.
abyss.
I am there. I'm here, baby. I'm here. And there's ring lights. And there's laptops and microphones. I don't know why we're capturing this moment of death for me.
But see
we're
that.
Here.
But that's when the good content is made, baby. That's when the good content is made. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you're
Is this what the people want?
This is what the people
Just
want.
the corpse of Rhani being like brought out and like perform, dance, monkey dance.
It's weekend at Bernie's. It's weekend at Roddy's. We need to.
God.
We need you need to. I'm gonna be like a puppet, and we're just gonna be like. So have you ever thought about?
You're the Muppet. You're the Muppet, though. I'm stealing your gig.
The master the apprentice becomes the master.
and then I throw you down the shaft as you scream and lightning goes. Yeah.
But don't worry, I'll come back in 3 movies, retconned and I'll be like, I didn't actually die.
Somehow he returns.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because I am all the Sith combined.
Yeah, baby, you are.
Oh my god.
Anyway, welcome to A Song of Spice and Rhani. You drinking?
This is Diet Coke. This is just Diet Coke. Diet Coke.
What is this little sip? What is this shot of fucking bourbon with ice cubes in your fucking bourbon glass? Like, what are you doing? What are we doing? I have been resurrected from the dead. And what are we doing?
Because I drank it all. I had a full glass and I drank it. This is the end of the oh my god, just do the thing.
Welcome to A Song of Spice and Rhani, a Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire podcast for the girls, the gays, the theys, and the well-behaved straights. I am your completely alive, not clone, animatronic, attached to machinery, Palpatine. I am Rhani. Who are you, bald man?
I am hashtag that bitch, Spicer.
Ooh, I didn't like that. Ooh, that gave me heebie-jeebies. I didn't like that. I'm gonna roll past that though. Okay, this is, and every single week we will break down 3 chapters of the A Song of Ice and Fire book series, going over what happens, our favorite deaths. I'm saying it all out of order. God damn it! I don't think I've said it correctly in weeks. It's fine. We're gonna go over theories, what happens, lore, and our favorite deaths. Insert joke about death here, Spicer. What's the word? Volley.
I'm volleying it to you. Much like
it's me. I'm the joke.
Yeah, no, you are the joke. No, I get it. Because it's much like the next generation that survives after the other generation passes, I shall carry on your legacy, Rhani. So on the channel, on the TikToks, it's going to be my bald face now, everybody, because Rhani has passed on. Rhani, she's left. She's gone. I will tell you about the ape people of Sithorios or whatever the fuck it is.
They're orcs.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. No one knows what they are. I think they're meant to be orcs. Because the first time I read them, I'm like, is this a racism? And the more I was reading, I'm like, oh no, this is just orcs. He just fucking Martin wanted to find a way to like sneak in a Tolkien thing, and this is what this is. I am fully convinced. Anyway.
Great. Fabulous.
Anyway, yeah, you'll carry on my torch when I'm dead, which is today. So, hi, I'm back-ish. I will say, you know what? I think I fooled people with my last few TikToks. I like the ones I filmed over like the last 3 days. I summoned like all the energy I'd have.
You looked, and I would like. You looked and sounded great. I
know, because I'm a good actor, Spicer. I'm a good actor. I'm wasted on you.
Someone tell me, when is it my turn?
This is
Don't
my
I get a
turn.
dream for myself?
Oh my god. I would the way I would eat that song. The way I would eat that song, spit it out, no crumbs. Except
No
there would be
crumbs.
I would have made crumbs because I just spit it out. It's fine. I'm fine. Let's talk about chapters. Chapters that I ingested, I processed, and I will
Mhm.
now relay back to you in a totally fun and relatable manner.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't take many notes. That's fine. It's okay. We're
It's
gonna just do it.
I got
Fuck
notes.
it, we're doing it live.
Oh,
We're doing it
we're
live.
doing it live. I'll write it and I'll do it live.
God, he's such a racist. If anyone knows who I'm referencing, he's a racist. Anyway, so this week we had Jon VI, we have Eddard XIV with Arya IV. So let's start with Jon. Ooh, feelings, they're here. So Jon Snow, his plan worked. Sam is gonna graduate with their cohort because Maester Aemon's a good guy. He likes to listen, and so they go to the announcement where they're getting assigned their roles before they're gonna go swear their words, and it's wonderful. Everything's going great. Ooh, Sam gets to be a steward just like John suggested. Oh, all the other friends get to be rangers. Oh, this guy gets to be a steward too. Oh no, John is a steward. Why is John a steward? John, I am John now. Why am I a steward? Papa, why am I a steward? I'm so good. I'm so good at the swords. Why don't they want me? Why does anyone want me? Ah!
I'm a star.
That totally. And so John proceeds to have a totally mature, not, 15-year-old teenage mental breakdown with Sam just patiently listening to him as he like yammers on about like, I don't understand. Why am I being insulted this way? Oh, I'm gonna have to go clean his shit. I'm gonna have to dress him and bring him his food like I'm a servant. And they're like, yeah, fuck you. What the fuck? Oh, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me? I told you this is totally going to be on the level. And then Sam finally, after listening to enough of this, is like, dude. So he wants you close by because he wants you to listen so that you learn. And then when it's time for leader people, we have you there. And John's like, oh. And then Sam tells like the saddest story. He's like, yeah, for the longest time, my dad used to bring me to everything. And then I could tell when my dad gave up on me, he stopped bringing me to things that only took my little brother. And that meant that I was no longer loved. And I was like, fuck. But anyway, John is loved because fucking Mormon wants him to be around. Ain't that nice? So then he gets over himself. He's like, okay, let's go say our words. Sam decides to go do it before the Heart Tree, the Weirwood, even though that's old gods and the Tarleys are new god worshippers. But Sam's like, I don't know, they never listen. Let's try some trees. Do the trees listen? And so they go, they say their oath, they rise as men of the Night's Watch. The boys are in the band. We are the fucking border patrol. Yeehaw, America. But then, oh no, Ghost shows up and what's in his mouth? Oh, it's a human hand. Cut to black. I think that was my best one ever.
I think it was. You gave me levels. You gave
I did.
me, hills and valleys. I really believed you, right? I think that was the best part.
Wow.
Is I was like,
Thank you.
oh, Jon Snow. He started a podcast where he's going to tell me all about his man feelings. Oh, the Jon Snow podcast would be fucking insufferable. It would be
Oh my god.
fucking insufferable. Like, oh my
I
god.
Oh my god, but I want it. I want it. I want that 15-year-old. Give him a microphone and let him go. Let him go off and let him tell us about the world. What's the world like, Jon Snow? You tell me. What do you think about it? Oh, it'd be so good.
Oh my god.
But anyway, what you think? This is yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what a chapter. We think it's just like a typical Jon Snow. I have feelings chapter, and then human hands
Human
appear.
hand.
I thought we were just getting the normal, just well, I got big feelings, and I'm learning how to process them, and then there's a human hand that shows up, and I went,
Yeah.
ooh, mystery, cut to black.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Georgie did a whole switcheroo there. He's like, I subverted your expectations. Hey,
The thing that I'm known for. But yeah, no. I do love when Sam is like telling him like, I'm gonna be a steward and I'm gonna be working with Maester Aemon, and John's like, no, truly, No, really? It reminds me of the meme, um, of like like the guy from Funhouse. It's one of the dads, and he's like smoking a cigarette, and it's like your '90s mom when you opened the present that you said that you wanted, and she's just like
Oh,
smoking and just smiling. Like it's that's it. That's
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
John is the parent on Christmas morning when he got the kid exactly what they wanted, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god!" And he's like,
This
"Yeah."
is crazy.
It's almost as if I purchased this for you. But yeah, no. I will say I understand the John Stan pipeline now. Like I get it.
Hmm.
I'm not on that
Yeah.
pipeline. I'm not on it. But I get it. Like I get it. It's because of the arc that this guy like goes through that he like, lest we forget when he met Spider-Man earlier and was like really upset on the wall, and had so many feelings and was like, fat people don't have worth. Why is this fat ass the king? He has no worth. Boo him. And now he's like doing this guy the solid, and like it was entirely altruistic, right? Like there is no
Hmm.
reason he needed to do this wasn't going to help him in the long. I mean, like it will, and that he's now has this person on his side, but like it's not, he doesn't know that this is just some fat ass who joined the Night's Watch.
Oh God, I feel seen. Um, but I no, I totally agree, and I will say, I sorry, I always feel like I have to defend my love of John because I do make fun of him a lot, but like John is in like my top five characters. I
Oh, okay.
love. No, I truly, truly do. I don't like the culture around him. I think the
Yes.
culture around him is an issue because I think a lot of people misunderstand things. But I will say, I think the reason, like, or at least one of the reasons that like the it's so fervent for him is because it's not just like your standard like hero's journey or whatever,
Mhm.
like starting off with the kid who has nothing and then like discovers he's special in some special way. It's not just that because I feel like had we just gone from like John is like, oh, I'm so sad because people don't value me, and then straight to like, look, I'm so good at things and I now feel good about myself. A lot of people, that's like I think the more of the standard route, and they would have been very satisfied with it.
Mhm.
But George takes it a step further, which is I think what makes it so compelling because he like points out like, yes, you have it rough, but then like let's sprinkle in some flaws, some like very understandable flaws that come from your disadvantages, and let's examine them and try to grow from them. And so you're watching him like not only like discover his awesomeness, but do so in a way that is very organic and coming from him like actually bettering himself
Mhm.
as a person. And it's through that bettering of himself that like things get better. It's not just he's not just handed the lightsaber by Obi-Wan and like, hey, you're a Jedi kid. And he's like, what? Cool. Let's start practicing. Like, no, like
It's
John
not
has to like
it's not you're a wizard, Harry. Like it's not that.
no, it's not you're a wizard, Harry. It's like he has to improve before he gets the
Yeah.
special shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so very compelling because I think we're primed to just be like, oh, it's the downtrodden kid who's secretly special. I'm ready to root for him. But we don't just get that. We get like a journey with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so compelling and why I think that people who would normally be satisfied with the one lose their fucking minds with like the more developed version that we get here,
Yeah.
and then it's just like fucking tunnel vision. You can't
Yeah.
see anything else.
It reminds me, it's a very different vibe, and this is such a niche reference I'm about to make, but all of the British listeners are gonna lose their shit. So, there's this British author named it's Ada or Idle Ibbleston. I can't ever pronounce her first and last name because she's like I
Okay.
think Hungarian or something in origin. Her
Okay.
family, but she mostly wrote like children young adult books, and sort of in a fantasy vein, and like her whole thing is like she was a pioneer in like sort of British fantasy in like the 70s and 80s because she kind of picked up where like Roald Dahl left off, and like
Okay.
she's like a less racist Roald Dahl. It's great. Like Because like she's got a lot of whimsy, but it's like, but she's also like much more interested in like fantasy because she wrote like quite a few like books like that, and like she's one of the few fantasy writers I remember like reading as a kid, and like I enjoyed a lot of her books. But she's very good with this as well, of where like her like hero's journeys are much more compelling because it's not the you're a wizard Harry. It's like they have to like do things first. Like I'm thinking of particular, there's this great book, which is one of my favorite books ever. It's called Witch, and the like basic of the idea of the book is like there's the evil sorcerer who's like the most evil in the land, and he has to pass his legacy on because there's a prophecy, and he has to get married first, and then there's this like competition to see who's the baddest witch. Like, and so it's very fun. It's very, you hijinks ensue, and there's like the white witch, the good witch, who's like, but I want to be the bride, but I'm a good witch and I don't know how to do it. And so she's like the misfit, and she's like trying to do like black magic, and she like finds a familiar because she doesn't have one, and it's this kid's worm who's like an orphan, and then he has to prove himself, and then like we like find out like, wait, no, he's actually the dark wizard. It's anyways, but it's a very cute similar thing of where like both of them, like, it's not you're a wizard Harry, like they are the underdog the whole time, and I think that's what it is. It's like Jon is an underdog for a lot, and there is no like you're special Jon. There's like allusions to maybe because only because like we understand like literature and we understand the archetype here of like, okay, this is clearly our protagonist and we are setting him up to be the chosen one or whatever the fuck it is. But like, even though he's not, the prince who was promised, that's the whole other conversation, but like clearly he is like an important character and of great import. But like, he hasn't like been handed the special sword and it's like, you are the chosen one, Jon, you must slay the Ice King or whatever. It's like, no, Jon just betters himself as a person, and it's through his own merits, not through some arbitrary sword chucked by a lady and a like, right? Like it's not that, right? Like it's like he proves himself and becomes a leader. So I get the Jon pipeline. Like I get the appeal because he as a character is a compelling character, and he is like, he is actively working on himself, unlike a lot of other characters. Won't name them.
No.
No. But yeah, no. I also love how in this chapter, and like, I get it, Mormont's doing a thing. He's doing a thing where he's trying to like inspire them. But the way this speech is like, you all were rapists and thieves. You were the lowest of the low. I wouldn't even scrape my boot with you. Not trash. All of you were trash. You were all garbage human beings. But now we are bonded in unity. I'm like, I get what you're trying to say here, Mormont. I get the rhetorical device that you're using. Maybe we didn't lay it on so thick at the beginning.
I don't open with, hey, some of you are rapists, and now we're all the same as our fellow rapists. Like, no, I think I'm still better than that one. No, I think, that guy over there, that piece of shit over there that I want to like punch to death. Yeah, I think I'm still better than him. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. I also, it's so interesting to me, like, the concept of the Night's Watch is such an interesting thing, and I think like the closest thing I can think of in sort of real world is like the indentured servants in colonialism. The idea of like, you're a debtor, you have a debt to pay, or you were a criminal or whatever. Well, if you board this ship and you happen to survive the 4-month journey across the ocean, then we're good. Like, and it's a very similar thing of like, hey, you committed an unforgivable crime that the other option is death, or you can go be in the border patrol. Like, your choice.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
think I'm ready for my dirt nap. I think I'm ready.
Just
take me now.
Just one clean thwop, just one. Yeah. Kunk. God above that. Yeah. I don't think I could be in the Night's Watch. I don't think I'd make it. I wouldn't make it one day. I got soft hands.
I got soft hands. I'm fat, and like, I don't want, again, going back to what started, like, I don't want to call this rapist my brother. No, I don't. I don't feel kinship with this person. I don't think I'm gonna feel kinship with this person the whole time. I'm gonna be like, why are you alive right now? Kill him. He's here. We got him.
Well, I think the other thing that is so weird, and like this is a thing that's talked about in the book, is like nobody takes this order seriously anymore because
Yeah.
like, and that's the reason they don't get any money because it's not like they are on the border with some great kingdom or something, right? Like it's not like they're keeping out or like they're protecting the land from some tangible threat. It's like superstitions, right? It's like when Tyrion was
Mhm.
going up and it's like, oh, we got to go fight the gremlins or whatever. Like
Mhm. The Grumpkins.
yeah. And it's like it's like nobody takes this order seriously because like they don't understand it because like even the idea of like keeping wildlings out, it's like, well, there's barbarians in the Vale, so it's like nobody
Mhm.
understands like what the action. I would argue even a lot of the people in the Night's Watch don't even understand what they are doing, right? Because it's just like we're here, we build the wall, we protect
Mhm.
it. Because like I bet you none of these people, other than like occasionally fighting some wildlings, have really ever done anything, right? Like in terms of like protecting. So it's like they,
Mhm.
and that's kind of the idea is like no one really gets what we're doing here, but we know it's important, which is also like an interesting like I don't know. Like, I think there's something to be. There could be like some interesting paper written about like ideology and this idea of like these people who have devoted their lives to this thing and they don't even fully understand what it is, right? And they will. And,
Mhm.
I mean, there's generations have lived and died at this wall for this order and never fought a wildling, like never saw an ice zombie, right? Like they never saw the others, they never saw like any of the zombies, like nothing. They're just here and like this is just their job, and which is why you can then understand why like people like Cersei or these other folks like make fun of the order because they're like,
Mhm.
why, what are we doing here, like what
Well,
tangible, yeah, go
oh,
on.
sorry. So well, I was just gonna agreeing with you. It's like the rhetoric has not evolved with what the order has become, and
Yes,
so it sounds like ridiculous. It's to make things political when you hear these like liberal Democrats talk about like, well, the institution's supposed to work like
yes,
this, so we wrote him a
yes,
very strongly worded letter. Like it sounds ridiculous because this is not like the reality that we live in anymore.
yeah,
So like Gior Mormont giving this speech like, oh well, it doesn't matter where you come from, we're all brothers now. You know, when it was the case that all the great houses were occasionally sending people to them, when you really could have like the son, like multiple sons of a lord next to like the children of peasants, like, and all are on equal footing now. Yes, that does like that vibe, that is inspirational in its own way. But when you keep saying that, but in reality they're all peasants except for, ooh, the one is a bastard of a lord, and that's a coup. That's a coup for them. They get a bastard of a lord. And they're like, oh, we gotta prep him for leadership. We're not gonna get a good one like this ever for a long time. Like that shows you like the ridiculous of like holding on to that rhetoric that is just so very clearly not the case anymore, and again is emblematic of why we do not trust the seriousness of this order and their mission.
no, exactly, that is spot on, like the liberal ideology of it all of like you know the institutions, like the institution is a good thing, but it is not serving its purpose anymore. Like it
No.
has fully lost sight of its mission, and it is also a toothless institution now. Is the problem? Because like the Night's Watch used to be able to do stuff, right? Like they used to be able to
Mm-hmm.
like protect the realm and stuff. Not anymore, and it's
No.
because like they've like become, it's the whole adage of like, hard times make, hard men and soft times make soft whatever. It's like they haven't really had to deal with anything for centuries now, and so they're just like, it's whatever. Here we are. We're just protecting against the maybe ice zombies that maybe exist, that might be part of mythology. We don't know because we haven't seen them.
But wait, maybe we will now because a hand has entered the chat. A hand. She
the,
entered.
the hand
She
emoji.
entered.
The hand
The hand
emoji.
emoji.
Oh, I also need to like just one thing I do need to say that was so funny. I love the idea that George always like is incorporating religion into this world, and that like it's such an important
Mm-hmm.
part of this world, and I like that the religions are so fleshed out, and I love how it's also very clear which religions we are borrowing from, and
Mm-hmm.
this is clearly the Catholics, right? I am glad they cut the crystals out of the TV show. The crystals
How
would
dare
have been.
you? How
I
dare
think
you,
the
coward?
crystals.
You coward! Coward! Cowards!
That would have been goofy as shit. Them wearing the little crystal hats and their little
Ugh.
crystal like stabs.
Ugh.
Like, come on.
You know what? I never want to hear you talk about camp and how we don't have camp and shit ever again. I want pageantry. You just watch Conclave with me. You just watch the two popes. You just watch like we saw the real show live in person.
In person,
I want
baby.
pageantry. I want costume. I want theatrics. Give me what I want. Fucking my god. You and you're like, ooh, what if it was all white? What if it was all white? What if everything was pale, austere? Fuck this shit. Fuck it.
I want my
No.
rainbow crystals. I want my
I
rainbow
want my
crystals.
rainbow crystals. Give me my Jesus rainbows, please. Cowards.
Roddy's in the first pew being like, the light of the seven shines on you. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Also, just to the like the general. I just one more thing about John. I just want to like. I do think
Mhm.
it's so funny that like he has his little hissy fit, and Sam just patiently listens and is like, "Hey, you were kind of handed a really sweet gig. Did you ever think? Did you ever consider that maybe this is because Mormont is grooming you to be the next leader?" And John's like, "Oh." Like,
Yeah.
we once
Yeah.
again, I love how we just had this
Yeah.
really long, nuanced conversation about like, wow, John is the type of hero we never see in fantasy, and it's so great, and I understand the hype, and then he shows his fucking man feelings again without fucking fail.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, at least he's showing them. At least he's showing them. We're not burying them deep down, and then they get unleashed very violently at
Yeah.
a later date.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, no, Sam just gets to tell him that like, no, actually, your life is once again pretty okay. In fact, some might say good. So
This was Ronnie on the phone with me the other night.
Spicer, the way when you were describing the scene with like Sam patiently listening, and I just like stared at you through the screen and just nodded as I stared at you. Yes,
I'll let I will call Roddy with like the most basic of inconveniences or like the basic of like life's
not even
problems.
inconveniences, not even inconveniences. You'll be like, wow, this amazing opportunity fell into my lap, and I'm just like, oh, does it matter? Does any of it matter? Like, what do you mean? You just said the opportunity fell. Yeah, but like, what does that mean? What is it worth? I don't know, thousands of dollars. They're paying you to write something for them. You goofy goof. God damn, I'm choking on it. Ah.
No. Anyways, I get Ned or I get pardon me, John, our Bernie Sanders stand-in, who we love, we stand them, but the fans we do not.
Oh god.
Anyways, that's all I got uh
Samesies.
for this fun little John chapter.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah, we're good. It's great. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Who do you think you are? Go around leaving scars, collecting your jar of hearts, tearing love apart.
In the jukebox musical version of this show, that's what Ned sings after Littlefinger betrays him. Like, and you know they'll do the stupid musical theater thing where like they rearrange the show, and at first it's just like it's real soft and it's like almost a cappella at first, right? Like because it's supposed to be dramatic and everyone's frozen on stage, like the knights.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
And they're just talking it. They're just talking
They're
it.
just
It's not,
singing.
there's no, yeah. I hate it here. I know I did this, but I hate it here. Anyway, we're back. I'm gonna keep that whole thing in.
No, that was
funny.
great. That was great. That was great.
Okay, so yeah, we're moving on. We're on to Eddard. Ned, get her done. God, I hated myself for that. God, I was made to watch those comedy specials as a child,
Oh my
and
god.
I don't know
So
why.
strong. So strong.
We're not from there. My dad's from Michigan and California, but the way we acted like
Of Arabic origin.
yes, I'm like why are you listening to fucking what was it, Rednecks of Comedy or whatever? Why
Yeah,
are we listening to country
no,
music on the radio every day?
it's
What are you
the
cosplaying here, Middle Eastern man? Sorry, that's my trauma I'm sharing.
I had to
Um,
watch it too, but it's only but like my dad was a yeehaw type.
yeah, like you guys were Southern, like I get it. Like this is your heritage. This is
My
not my
culture. This
heritage.
is my culture. Stop appropriating my culture, Ronnie.
I didn't wanna. They made me put on the Halloween costume. They made me. God, I'm so happy none of my Halloween costumes were racist in hindsight.
None of mine
I'm
were. I was in some questionable
great.
operas, but we won't talk about that.
Oof, oof. Yeah, we won't talk about that. You got a career. Anyway, so
Go on.
yeah, Eddard 14. That's this chapter we're on, and ooh, does the shit hit the fan? Yes, it does. So Eddie Boy wakes up and he goes, "Oh, those Lannisters are very loud. They should be like running. Why is Cersei still here? Surely she knows things are about to go wrong for her." Yeah, Ned, that's what's happening. But anyway, he has breakfast. Sansa's really sad because she can't say bye to Joffrey. Arya's like, "Can I have one more dancing lesson?" Dancing, quote unquote. And Ned's like, "Yeah, just make it quick." And then whatever. Eventually, Grand Maester Pycelle shows up and he's like, "Hey, King's dead. Cool, it happened." And Ned's like, "Cool, small council right now. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. Hey!" And he gets them all together. They read the King's will. Where like Ned's gonna be the Lord Protector, and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then as they're having their meeting, another person shows up and is like, "Hey, the King wants to see you all." And Ned's like, "Wow, Cersei is quick. How weird." So they all go to the throne room, and guess what? That fucking gremlin, hobgoblin, fucking Babadook, incest baby, he be sitting on that pointy chair, and he loving it. He loving it. King Tantrum is here to stay, and Cersei's there too. And they basically they try to hand Cersei, Robert's will, and she's like, "Fuck paper, stupid. Who cares? Paper. What are words? Words are wind, eh?" and and so no one plays this right. Well, by no one I mean Ned. Finally, she's like, "Hey, just bend the knee, do the thing, whatever, and you'll be fine. You can go back to Winterfell. Just be gone." And Ned's like, "No, I have honor. I have honor. So let me say some stupid shit out loud and be like, 'Hey, he not the king.'" And then everyone was angry. And then Ned's like, "Hey, it's okay though, because Peter told me that the gold cloaks are with me." And so he tells the gold cloaks to arrest the queen and the king, quote unquote. And it doesn't go well. And then the gold cloaks start killing all his people, and Peter puts a knife to his throat and is like, "Hey, yeah, you shouldn't have trusted me, dummy." Yeah, so that happened. Did I forget anything?
Nope, that's about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so weirdly, our investigation it hasn't it's come up against the system, man. It's come up against
Our
the
loose
limits of the system.
our loose cannon cop found out that the crime actually was from inside the house.
Oh
Our
god.
loose cannon cop discovered that the system is shockingly corrupt, and the system is
Yeah.
actually shockingly the one committing
Uh,
the crimes. It's
yeah.
it's
And then
weird.
even when he went to internal affairs, like, "Hey, internal affairs, you're the ones that are supposed to watch us. Will you help?" They go, "No, because we're also in on this too."
We're also the bad guys too. It's weird, Ned. It's weird. How I love how like during the small council meeting, they're like where he's like, "Where's Lord Renly?" And they're like, "He gone." Like
Yeah, he
he
left.
left, and he's like, "Weird, weird." Didn't even wait for his brother to die. Was just like, I'm out. I said, let's do this now. We got him. We got him good. We hold the advantage. Let's just do it. And Ned's like, no. Surely everyone is as honorable as I am, because he's the cop with a heart of gold, baby. He's got a heart of gold. He has a code. He has a code, and he's not going to break that code, even though other people are going to break that code.
I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. And like really that is just the vibe the whole time. Him watching everyone make like the smart political move and him just going, "Huh, who'd have thunk? Who'd have thunk they'd do that?" And it's just like it's so sad. It's so depressing because like he is a good guy
He's
and
a good egg.
he's a good egg and he just like can't fathom like a world where these people are this bad. I'm like, no, they are this bad.
It's I did write. Lord Renly said nope. Like,
Nope.
I'm out of
So
here.
I'm out.
I'm going
I'm out.
home.
I'm taking my twink.
I'm taking my
And
twink.
we're going back to Twinkland, and we're gonna make some Twinkie strategies, and then we're gonna regroup.
Fire Island will rise, baby. Like Lord Renly of Fire Island. Of P Town, Lord Renly of P Town. Like
No,
Palm Springs will rise. Palm Springs remembers. Like
I think Palm Springs is asleep. Let's be for real.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They're napping. It's midday. Um,
they partied all night. They have things to do.
yeah,
Oh, you know, I also, God, poor Sansa, so brainwashed, like so in it. So in it. Doesn't, because like we'll get to Arya later, but like I love the whole Arya chapter where Arya is able to like very quickly, even as a young child, be like, "Oh, the shit be hitting the fan. I can't trust no one." And Sansa's like, "Why can't I say goodbye to my betrothed?" And it's like,
Well, and sorry if I can interrupt for a second. This is another problem where like I'm sorry, I don't want to, but I have to fucking blame Ned here. Because
yeah,
Arya
no,
is the only one who's been told that something is wrong, that there's something wrong with them. Because Ned told her, but never had that same talk with Sansa. So Sansa, again, is the one who fully drank the Kool-Aid to begin with. It's going to be harder to break her of that. And you've never bothered to even try. You've never bothered to like, hey, no, let's like have a sit down and say like there are actual big problems with these people, and this is why we're going. So she's just in the fucking dark and like, why is my life falling apart after you told me I was gonna get everything I ever wanted, and none of it makes sense.
well, and you know what's crazy to me about all of this is like, getting my feminist lens out. It's so interesting because this is really an indictment of Ned's internalized misogyny. Because which daughter does he confide in? The one that presents mask. Right, like the one that is presenting mask, the one that basically is our trans stand.
Is deemed the one that like, oh, she'll get it because she's more like a boy, and only the boys will get it,
and only the boys. Like, Arya wears pants, so therefore Arya will get it. But like Sansa over here, she's too like, ooh, precious flower. It's that benevolent misogyny, right? It's which like. You know, I would argue in some cases is even more like insidious than just outright misogyny, because it's like you aren't preparing these people to understand the world for what it is, right? Like Ned, like that is why like when the other chapter we're poking fun at Arya or Sansa, pardon me, for like, well, why didn't he send Lord Tyrell, because like he's so pretty and he's like of all the songs, it's like, girl, the world isn't a song. Like the world is not a song. This is not how this works. Like your twink wouldn't win in a fight. Also, he's gay. Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. Like it's, and like that is the problem with benevolent misogyny, right? Like he is not preparing her, right? Every like the world is very much sort of handed to her on a platter consistently and constantly of like, this is the ideology you need to believe in, these are the thoughts, which is why like it's so interesting, like being ex-Mormon and like talking to a lot of folks who sort of deprogram or are in the process of like deprogramming. And like what is so interesting is like there is there I feel like there's two flavors. There is the flavor of who like do a lot of internalized thinking, right? And are like, I need to confront all of these systems of power and everything that like I have been confronted with. Like, what do I actually believe in? Blah 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 blah. And then there is the other flavor of they don't confront these systems of thought, and they just replace, find X, replace all with Mormonism, and they just insert new ideology, right? Like, it's like, well, I guess Mormonism isn't the thing anymore, so it's, I don't know, like Lululemon, or like whatever, like insert thing here now that like is my new thing that I'm obsessed with, that like is now the way that I structure my entire life around. It's not, why is it that my entire life is based off of like everything that I believe is based off of like systems of power and like systems of belief, and like why am I not like confronting things for myself and trying to, it's like, nope, so it's like Sansa is still in that, right? Like she has not deprogrammed like at all, like
No.
like even though like at this point the Lannisters, who are the king, right, have shown themselves to fully be evil. He is Bob evil, right? Like he is here to do some evil crimes and commit war crimes and kill people. And Sansa is still in disbelief. She's like, wait, what? But no, because like you said, like Ned was never able to like sit her down and like talk with her because he was being benevolently misogynist, because she is a woman, because women are property in this world, and because they have no worth, and so therefore why should I bother having to tell anything up to her, because she's just here to be a fucking marriage pawn in
Yeah. Arya's doubts when they are presented get like they get almost validated pretty consistently. Anytime she like confronts the system and says like this doesn't make sense, or I want to do this, or like there is I know I'm not doing like I know I'm not following like the rules or whatever to a T, but like can there be another way? She is given that leeway. So in her mind, it's not a big jump to go from like, oh, I've been like told that there is something wrong. I've been told that like, oh, like a lady maybe can act a little differently here and there, to then like make the final jump of like, oh, these people are bad. You
yeah.
know, at that point, like you've given her so many inches that like she only has like half a foot to go before she gets there. Versus like Sansa, who's never she's a never really like had those doubts. She's had like things like she's been confronted with bad things like the lady scenario, the lady situation, and just things of that nature. But they get explained away. They don't get reinforced. The doubt doesn't get reinforced. It gets like smoothed over. And then the next time she's talking to Joffrey, he's behaving as he was, supposed to be. He's being like the gentleman. And so it gets like smoothed over again, so that when he like acts a little shitty again, it's only like a little bump, and it doesn't have the same impact because it hasn't really been building in the same way. Like anyway, just like the stark difference of like Arya's doubts get reinforced and Sansa's get smothered, and like so they're of course going to process shit differently. It's
Well,
just
and it's like I don't want to like jump on like the train with the Sansa haters being like, I'm not saying Sansa's dumb. Sansa's one of the most intelligent characters in the books. The problem is that Sansa isn't deprogrammed, right? Like Sansa,
yeah.
like Sansa.
No, I don't think you're suggesting any of that. My frustration is Sansa is not being given the opportunity to even start that process.
Yes.
Versus like Arya is like 3/4 of the way there by the time we get to the point of like, oh, shit is hitting the fan. Sansa has not started. She's like, if anything, she's gone deeper in because they haven't like I'm sorry, but like her family hasn't done like their due diligence in trying to like help her get there. And not that like it's Arya's like responsibility. I'm mostly blaming Ned, but like when you have Arya as like the comparison for Sansa, and Sansa watches as Arya like continually does the wrong thing, and it's pointed out as a wrong thing, like why would she then trust any of Arya's opinions on anything? Because she's been like coached that Arya isn't doing things correctly. Yeah. So if anything, when Arya says something, Sansa now is even more sure that the opposite is true.
Yeah. No. You have rewarded her for believing in the system, and then you punish her when she doesn't follow the system. So of course she's going to like think that this is true because she's been conditioned like a dog. Like she's being Pavlovian conditioned to
Yeah.
adhere to this patriarchal society. Like, of course, she's going to be like Sansa dumb or Arya dumb.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, no, but back to our real idiot of of the chapter. Just the lowest of the low for Ned. This is man, just what a low point for Ned. Like literally, I love it because we always get those little like italices, like internal monologue moments for Ned. And usually it's
Mhm.
like pretty like we always get we've talked about like Ned drops the bangers, right, like of just
Mhm.
like things of just like, ah, yeah, that's, yeah, Ned, you dropped some shit there. And this chapter, it's just like, huh? What? Why did that happen? Oh no! Because it's like when he was like when Lord Renly said nope and left, and everyone's like, girl, he gone, and he's like, oh well, so much for his 100 swords. It's like, no, because you misunderstood. He said my 100 swords then because there weren't a bunch of Lannisters in the castle at that point, so we had the
Mhm.
advantage. We had the tactical advantage. All we had to do was snatch these kids, decide if we want to yeet them out the window or not. Like, like separate them from Cersei, put Cersei in a goddamn dungeon, which wouldn't even really be a dungeon because, as you pointed out, it would just be a different room. Like,
Yeah.
like it would be a different room. Like there, you were given 4 different options, Ned. You were given 4, and even in this moment where the odds are so clearly against you, and yes, I know, read your clairvoyance, he doesn't know that the
Yeah.
gold
Yeah.
cloaks have been turned on him, but also, as Littlefinger points out, what has Littlefinger ever given you to trust it? Like, what has he ever done to make you think?
Mhm.
One time he helped you smuggle you into a brothel where
Yeah.
he hid your wife, a brothel. Like that's the only thing. That's the only moment.
He had one. The issue is like like you said, he had 4 options, and then he decided, what if I go with A, the flimsiest one, with B, no backup.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put literally all my eggs in this basket and just hope for the best. And this basket, she got holes. She don't have a lot of integrity. She looks like she's on her last like limb here. Like it.
It is that Target reusable bag that you have been using way too much, and this is that last grocery trip of where you're like, ooh, I don't know if she's gonna make it this time. But yeah, no, I it's just like I girl, it's this is really this is like a moment where like George shows himself to be like Shakespearean because we the audience are like, no, 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 Ned, no, don't do it, no. And we know it's gonna be bad, we know it's gonna be real
Yeah.
bad, and we watch it happen in real time, the train crash, and we go, oh no. I also do love the line, the boy who called himself king.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good line there,
It's a good
George.
line.
Good George.
It's a good line.
Uh, just
It
everything. Such a loaded statement. I love it.
Yeah, and it just like I feel like I don't have a ton to say on this chapter because it's like pretty self-explanatory. But I will say like a couple things I do like. I do love that like now that Joffrey's like on the throne, it's full mask off. We are
Oh,
not pretending.
mhm.
It is unhinged. He is having like crazy outbursts. Cersei is just like feeling herself, which is fun, if not
Her
unnerving.
the cuntiness of her
Yeah.
ripping the letter in front of them, which I know they
Yeah.
make fun of in the TV
Yeah.
show later, where like Tyrion has the line of, "Do you have to rip every letter?" Like,
Uh-huh.
but it's so cunty in this moment of where she's like, "Rip,
Mhm.
rip." It's like I hear in the background, "I feel like a femme queen."
There, you know, in like the next room over, there was like just a gaggle of gays all just like snapping, going like, yes, yes,
Yes.
rip it up.
Rip, eat mama, you slay your enemies. Like,
Yes. Yeah, no, it's totally that. I yeah, no, I don't have much else. I it's very tragic. It's the nothing is going well and
nope,
it's not gonna go get any better.
nope. And fuck Littlefinger, like, eternally.
Fuck Littlefinger.
Fuck,
Always.
fuck. I
Always.
I that little. Little man, little worm of a man, trash, trash. That's who should be in the Night's Watch. That's who should be
Yeah.
calling the rapists and murderers
Mhm.
his brother because he is the same as them.
Yeah.
Trash human being. God damn. Anyways, that's all I got.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's take one more break and we will be right back. And we're back, moving right along to Arya Frick. Or, why did I say Frick? Been around Mormons too long. Arya 4. Okay, so Arya, well, she has a morning, so she goes to her very last dancing lesson with Sirio Florel. He tells her a very interesting story about how he became the first sword of the Sea Lord of Bravos, and how he was the only one who was able to see the world as it really is, because the Sea Lord had like this crazy elaborate cat, and everyone who he interviewed, he'd like ask them about the cat, they'd be like, "Wow, he looks so exotic, like he's from the Summer Isles, or he's from Sothorios, or he's from wherever." And because like, oh, look at his weird ears and whatever. And then Sirius like, no, that's just a regular fucking cat. That's just a cat. That's a cat. Like, there's a million of them. And the Sea Lord's like, correct. You're not a bullshitter. You see the world as it is. You get to be the first one of Bravos. Because everything's a lesson. Everything's a lesson, Spicer. But then, oh no, all the soldiers show up, and something I will say, we get to see the fight, which we don't really get to see much of it in the TV show. But no, like Sirio takes out everyone and then starts fighting Marin, and it really is just at the last second that Arya like goes away, so she doesn't have to see. But yeah, he tells Arya to run. We get the, what do you say to the god of death? Not today. And she's on the run. She's on the run, and she tries to get to the stables to like, that's where they were packing her shit, and like maybe get a horse or something. She gets down there, and everyone she's ever known is dead all around her. And it is so fucking sad. It's so much, and it's so much sadder in the context of the book because, like, even if you don't remember like all these people and their names, you've been reading their names, so you know, like, oh, this is a person. This is a person who means something. It's not day player number 4 who's dead on the ground right now, and like one of them is alive and like calls her Arya Underfoot, and like I got like weirdly choked up at that. And then she like finds her trunk and is like looking for Needle. She finds Needle, packs a little baggie, is gonna like try to take a horse, and then ooh no, a stable boy comes out, and he's scary and he wants to hurt her for reasons. But hey, then she kind of panics. She forgets everything Sirio taught her except for what Jon taught her, which is stick him with a pointy end, and she does, and she has her first kill at 9, 10 ish. Yikes. But it's okay. It's fine. We're fine. She's like, fuck, well, I gotta get out of here, but all the doors are gonna be locked. I need to get out of here how I did last time, where I went down through the sewer system when Varys was being a mermaid. And so she like backtracks through like the room with the monsters, and they're like kind of scary, but she's like not sure. And then she has this memory about Winterfell when her brothers when Rob like took her and like the other kids down into the crypts. It turned out to be a prank because John had like covered himself in flour and like scared her as like a ghost, and then she like hit him and was like, bitches, don't do that again. But they were all laughing and it made her feel good. Then she realized there was like no reason to be afraid. These were just cool dragon skulls. How cool. And then she like keeps going through the darkness, and she's gonna escape the castle. End of scene. Oof, 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 oof.
Trauma, trauma.
Trauma.
My name is Sirio Farrell. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
One thing, what we've talked about this before. The way that George will dovetail chapters and like thematically link them or plot wise link them, and like the idea that like this last chapter, we're just screaming at Ned as the audience with all this dramatic irony, being like, "You dumb bitch." You dumb bitch! Why you believe all these people? Stop! No, look, they're lying. They're going to betray you. It's and then literally to come in and Cyril Farrell is like, "Hey kid, listen. The world is full of lies. Nothing is real. You need to call it as you see it. Like don't believe what people tell you. Call it as you see it. Be woke. Get woke."
Yes, totally. I hadn't. and it's really funny, like in the reading it the second time in the discussion now, I don't think I like connected those two in my head, like thematically, like Ned's chapter to Sirio's speech, but fully,
Yeah,
especially since it's like right at the start of the chapter,
yeah,
like after
exactly.
you've watched Ned ignore all the evidence before his eyes to then be like, hey, let me tell you about seeing things for real, okay?
If someone tells you this is an exotic cat, don't believe them. It's a fucking
No,
cat. It's just a
it's a
cat.
cat. Ah,
And also not Sirio like breaking a knight's hand and killing people with a wooden sword.
with a wooden sword.
With a
He like
wood.
and like I don't know what it is about the books version, which I find just a lot more satisfying than the show version of it. Because I rewatched this fight scene like not too long ago. I don't remember in what, but it's good in the show. But like here, like he's like killing and hurting and maiming people versus like the oh bonk I'm unconscious. Like no, like this like he is dangerous. If he had a real sword,
Dead.
if he had any
Everyone's
sort of armor, everyone's dead.
everyone's dead.
Like
Everyone's dead.
Marin Trant, that piece of shit Kingsguard, is saved only because he is decked out in fucking half the metal of the earth being layered on top of him.
Because he's in a
Like that's
literal
it.
he's in a literal mech suit. Like he is
Yes.
like,
That's the only reason he is alive today.
I and it's it you know, and it made me kind of sad and think like, oh, imagine if Serial had like a real sword. Which it's even kind of ironic because
Mm-hmm.
they talks about in the scene. He's like, oh, maybe our next lesson we'll be able to use real swords. And it's like if he had had a real sword, the way this story would have gone so differently. Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
the fun adventures of Syrio Forel and Arya Stark as like just those two madcaps just traversing
Yeah.
the kingdom, causing trouble? Like they'd go over to the free cities where he'd be like, "Fuck this shit, we're going to Bravos." Like, you are now my apprentice. I'm going to teach you to be a pirate. It's gonna be great. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but instead,
Yeah.
no, no. Everyone dies.
Everyone
And
does
everyone,
everyone.
everyone. The trauma of like him choking up the blood as he's like, and then the irony of him being like, Arya, warn your father. It's like, girl, Ned's
No.
no, Ned knows. Ned knows.
Ned no. Ned is aware. Ned is aware of how he's fucked up.
He is painfully aware as a dagger is digging into his goddamn throat. God damn it. I just also it's like so weird. One thing I just want to touch on is like last night I took a gummy and usually when I take a gummy it's nice, but sometimes we go on a different trip. And I was having one of those like when you have a gummy and like you're having like your imagination like runs wild, and like I
Mhm.
started being like, what happens if I chewed a knife? Like, like I didn't do
Jesus.
it. I didn't do it. Like it's not like I'm gonna chew the knife. It was just like randomly like an intrusive thought. An intrusive thought popped into my head, and I was like, ooh. But then I was like, ooh, that sounds painful. No, thank you. And like very vivid imagery. And then we get these chapters where it's just like the body horror of just like the way that everything is being described, of like these intrusive thoughts that we get all the time, right? Of like these violent things that happen, of like, oh, what would happen if I cut myself or something? And that is all the intrusive thoughts are here in this chapter. Like the body horror of the way that it's described, because also like remember this is as you said, a 9-year-old child. So it's a 9-year-old child describing somebody bleeding out. Like like and like it's the body horror of the way that she describes it and the way that like I got like like it messed with me like in a very vivid way, especially like it's the fact that it's a 9-year-old child describing these like body horror things, these intrusive thoughts that we all have had at one point of like what is it like to have this type of violent thing happen to you.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so that's yeah, no, not a fan. Also, damn, the stable boy, it's like it's because it's like also what I love about this character is like we have not met this character before.
No.
But I also
No.
love that he's like, but we get the line of like, oh, she doesn't know me, but I know her, right?
Mhm.
And I know that this character is a piece of shit. Like that, I think it's like the genius of George's writing. It's like in like 2 lines with this character, I know he's a piece of shit, and I'm actually kind of like shocked and horrified, but also kind of like stoked that he got killed. Like because it's like, yeah, you fucked around and you found out. Like, you fucked around and found out.
He made him like just unlikable enough that like you can like just get over the horror of the situation, like the horror of like Arya, this child having to kill someone, because like okay, no, if it's him, if it's gonna be anyone, like this piece of shit that's like again, it's so eerie the whole time. Like, what are you about to do here? I don't know if like this is assaulty, if this is like murdery, if this is like what kind of sadistic this is, but like it is so like unnerving that like you are almost like a little relieved when you're like, yeah, no, please, like a few more times just to be safe. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Also, the symbolism with her, which once again, going with my queer reading with Arya, the symbolism of she is in danger, she is on the run from people who are trying to find and harm her, and she's got to dig up the masculinity which is buried underneath all the femininity, because that is the only thing that is going to protect her in or him in this world. Like them, like like once again, subtle as a gun, George. Like
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you. Yeah.
yeah,
But until Arya tells me nothing, like we're gonna be respectful.
we're gonna be respectful. She prefers she her, but also that's an egg if I've ever seen one. Like, yeah, I am.
My God.
It's great, but damn, just also just like the whole like this is such like the Karate Kid of it all, of the like the wax on wax off, and like all of my training
Yeah,
has been leading to this, and it's like I am the
yeah.
cat now. I'm no longer chasing the cat. I am the cat, and if they catch me, I'm dead. Like
It's yeah. No. I sorry. I'm like struggling to like process like how do I want to like phrase this? It is it's very cool when we reach the point with a character where they get to like start employing all the things that they picked up.
yes,
Like I love how even though she's really able to use it like in the stable, how like the whole time when she's like going through the dark, when she's like doing all these things, she's repeating like all of the little like nuggets that Sirio gave her, like the fear cuts deeper than swords, quick as a snake, whatever, light as a cat, whatever the thing is. She's like repeating all of them and like, okay, how do I like bring them all together in this moment now that I need to call upon this. And it's satisfying, but then just like so sad because of like who this person is who now needs to do this.
yeah. Well, it's also like she did in the stable use something that she was taught. It was Jon, right? It was the first thing she
Yeah,
was taught.
yes, yeah,
And
yes.
that's what's so like satisfying about this chapter. Like similar to what we were talking about with Jon, of like why Jon is such a satisfying character. It's like Jon has to prove himself, right? Like he has to learn all these things, and then he
Hmm.
becomes these things. He becomes the hero, right? Like he is not, it isn't, he is not the legend foretold. He is not the prince that is promised, which is kind of the point of his character. It's like he is a man made, right? He is self-made.
Hmm.
Same thing with Arya. Arya is a woman self-made, right? Like Arya is somebody
Yes.
who is employing all of the things that she has been taught. Like, and that, yeah, no, I it's just, and it is like it's like you said, it's so cool to just see her like use it is the wax on wax off of like finally like all of the things that she is learning are now helpful in literally protecting her
Yeah,
life.
yeah. Um. Oh, wait. There is one last thing. I was gonna say it was at the very end, so I wanted to like wait till we were kind of wrapping up.
Mm.
Arya. The last line of this chapter, just like
Oh my god.
gets me, and I wrote it down because she's like running through the tunnels, like she found her way to like where she needs to go so that she can like escape through the sewers, and like she's no longer afraid. She like sees the skulls, the monsters, and she's like, oh, they're dragons, how cool. And then she just kind of like keeps going, and the line says her footsteps sent soft echoes scurrying ahead of her as Arya plunged deeper into the darkness. And like Is that not
Poetry.
what's happening to our poor Arya?
Well, and it's like it's so great because like it's a little bit of a weird way of phrasing it that the footsteps are ahead of her, which one is just like such an
Hmm.
interest, like it's such a beautiful like text painting moment of like that is how cavernous it is before her. So it is a
Hmm.
implying that she has a long way to go, right? Like
Yeah.
that is where the cavernous stuff is. So that's where the echoes are going and coming from. Is they're coming from? They're not from behind her. It's in front of her,
Hmm.
right? But then it's also like implying that Arya has a long way to go, right? Like, and she
Hmm.
doesn't know where she's going. And that so it's just like beautiful writing, like both in the like the literal text painting of it all and also just like the thematic way that it is being connected to Arya's character now of like she does not know where she
Hmm.
is going because Arya is the most uncertain of them all, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point, like we know because we've seen the TV show and you've read the book, but it's like I couldn't tell you if this was my first time. I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen to Arya. Like, hopefully she gets out of the kingdom, like or the keep. Like,
Hmm.
hopefully they don't catch her. But it's like, cause Jon, it's like, okay, Jon's like doing the border guard thing, and like Sansa, like unfortunately is now going to be a Lannister hostage, and what's his face? Rob is king of the North now, or going to become shortly.
Well,
Yeah, we'll get there. He's probably going to commit some civil war. Right?
hmm.
Like everyone, like it's pretty clear like what they're going to do. But like Arya, like what is so terrifying about her character is like we don't know. Like
Hmm.
her coin truly is up in the air right now, and like we don't know where she's going to land, which is why like of all the characters right now, I'm the most interested to be like, well, what's she going to do? Even though I've seen the TV show, I'm
Hmm.
like I want to know what happens to her next.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just adding one little tidbit to that with the specifically like the echoes being ahead, I also think that in a way it's like she has now been like set on a path that she's like
Mm-mm.
almost following. Like the
Yes.
echoes are ahead of her and she's going down like the only way she can,
Mm-hmm.
which is this path that's leading deeper into darkness with the only tools that she's really like gotten so far being those of violence. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like her with her violence going deeper into the dark on the like the only path that she can kind of follow.
And,
And
and
that's like yikes.
and the only light she has is a candle she stole from the church. Like, and I love the line of the gods won't miss this.
No.
Like, they're fine.
That was good. That was really good. But yeah, that's what I had for this one.
Same. Yeah,
Okay,
it's great. Yeah.
okay. Sweet. Now, please forgive me all. Typically, we have two segments at the end, a question and a favorite death. I did not prep a question beforehand. I am. You've been watching. This is me. Hey, I'm not great. It's fine. We will have questions next week. I'm sorry if you left a question and we didn't answer it. Please leave them in the comments. We will grab one. Maybe we'll do two next week just to like make up for it. And then yeah. But our last segment, Spicer, our
Mhm.
favorite deaths.
Mhm.
Options.
So
Options.
many options.
So many
So many options.
options.
Um, I'm gonna say the stable boy because
Yeah.
it's such an iconic moment. Because one, it's like Arya's first kill, and so it's like, and this is such like a traumatic moment for her.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I took a human
Yeah.
life, which like she doesn't even have time to unpack it. Like, because she's like, I gotta go.
No.
I gotta
No.
run. They're gonna get me. I
It's no, it's so traumatic. Sorry, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so traumatic. And it's iconic. And he's such a piece of shit character that we only have met for like literally 5 lines. And then the line he says, "Oh gods, pull it out," like,
Oof.
oh,
Oof.
oh, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, just kill me, just do it. Like, god damn it. Like, I ooh
Oh,
the body horror of this
the body.
chapter.
It's a lot. I will say when George like starts dabbling in it, you really are just like, oh, this is gross. This is gross. I really fucking hate this.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm also trying to pull up the thing so that I can find his name because honorable mention. This isn't my pick, but honorable mention to the hand. To the hand. We can never forget the hand
Never forget the
that Ghost
hand.
finds. I'm going to count that as a death, but honorable mention. And then the one that I do want to point out is Hullen. Hullen is he's like the guy who like he's the master of horse at Winterfell. He's the one that
Oh
she finds that
yeah.
he's not quite dead, and he's like choking on the blood, and just him calling her Arya Underfoot really just like, oh no, not as you're dying, and then like, oh, go like tell your father, like even in this moment of death he's still trying to be like, hey, we got to take care of this family, let me do my best. It's just like that's a good guy. It's a
He's
good guy right there.
one of the real ones. One of the real
One of the
ones.
real ones.
He's a
Taken too soon.
pour one out for one of the real ones. Olin. Pour one out for Olin.
Oh yeah.
And then also, oh
Uh,
god, the line, the other honorable mention, not necessarily a death, but the line where one of the people who died said, you know, one Northerner is worth 100 Southerners, and then when Arya said, "You lied," like,
oh yes. Oh my god. I forgot. Yeah,
and
yeah,
kicks his
yeah.
corpse and kicks
And
his
kicks
corpse.
his corpse because she's a child who's traumatized. Ah.
Yeah, well, because it's also what's also tragic is like that's not necessarily not true. It's the fact that they were all ambushed. Like
Yeah.
they weren't
No,
even.
it's not their fault, but like she can't process that at the moment.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like she's in her trauma.
Yeah. Oh God. And we wonder why Arya's like, maybe if I go to assassin school later. Like,
Yeah.
how
But
could a child be primed for this? Huh?
they can't. Speaking of children, ooh, we got a slew of them next week. So please remember our chapters for next week are I was gonna say are Sansa IV, Jon VII, and Bran VI. It's the children's hour, more drama. We love it. Not that children's hour. That's a plays with gays, but no, different.
Different
Anyway,
children's hour.
but thank you all for listening. I appreciate you guys being patient when we weren't on last week, and I was apparently worse than this. But thank you for coming back. We will see you next week. And yeah, say goodbye, Spicer.
Goodbye, Spicer.